Hi, Deepak. Thank you for giving us your valuable time and interviewing with us. So, for the viewers, may we request you to please share your journey and your story in your own words?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Dikshita, and thank you, Experts Global, for inviting me here. It really feels really good that, I was in the same shoes 2 years back, and yeah, now I might be able to help people. So it really feels good about that. I would say my journey started around 2019. So I'm a BITS planning graduate. I graduated in 2019. And yeah, around that time, I started thinking, okay, I want to do a master's. Would it be an MBA or another master's? But I was exploring courses.
Mhm.
And yeah, the one thing which actually came up was like, you need to have your GMAT, GRE score first. And around that time, that was 2019, I was in my final year. Okay, I'll prepare because the first step is GMAT always. I decided my schools and then started my preparation and in 2019, but then things happened. I switched jobs, changed cities. Then I finally gave my first GMAT in October. I couldn't score well. And then I gave another GMAT in Jan. And yeah, then for the finance courses. Fortunately, I joined LBS in 2020. I came here in London in 2020, finished my master's, and now I'm working here, at a trading firm.
Oh, all right. You've come a long way and it's been quite an inspiring journey so
Yeah.
far. So, in your opinion, what are a few factors or actions you took that made all the difference?
I think first thing was I decided a bit early that I want to do something like this. So that helped me because I'm talking about like in my final year itself, I was like, okay, I need to do something. And that time I had a decent job as well in my hand. So I was like, okay, I'll join but still I'll apply. But then again, things happen. And another thing which helped me was my undergrad degree and the institute because my academics also helped me because my undergrad CGPA was decent. That helped me and then LORs helped me. And when this COVID happened, it was like everyone was saying, don't go now. It's going to be really difficult job market. And they were absolutely correct. Job market was really, really tough. In fact, pre-application phase or application phase is just 20-30% of the efforts you're going to make when you enter the business school. Yeah, you need to be very resilient, I would say.
Right.
And the preparation stuff, for example, I opted for Experts Global GMAT mock test. That was the first mock test I chose for because I read on GMAT Club and there was a comparison
Yeah.
that, okay, GMAT prep is the best, of course. That's the official GMAT. And then EG because with EG, the good thing is 15 tests. I think, yeah, it was a combination of many things. And fortunately, EG was also a part of it. So yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. So, with the benefit of hindsight, what are a few mistakes you believe you committed in the process?
I have done many mistakes, I think. That's how you learn.
Mhm.
First thing was, I didn't know that, especially, this is regarding especially the GMAT preparation only.
Mhm.
I didn't know that you should avoid a large gap in your GMAT preparation first thing.
Mhm.
And it should not be over a span of, let's say, 6 months or so. That's a really long time. You should try to get it done in 3-4 months. So what happened with me, when I started in Feb 2019 or March 2019.
Mhm.
And I was doing an internship that time in Bangalore, Morgan Stanley. And because I was busy, and so I just used to spend like very less time a
Mhm.
week. And I prepared till June. I switched to Hyderabad for my new job. And
Okay.
then for 2-3 months when I was shifting places, everything, finding house, I didn't do anything. And and I'm talking about till August or something. So I started in Feb, prepared for 3-4 months,
Mhm.
didn't prepare for 2-3 months, and
Okay.
then again started for 1-2 months and gave in October. I did decent in mocks, but the actual GMAT score was 650 only. So there was V27 and Q51. And it was kind of a setback because already had planned things. I would be
Mhm.
applying in this round. Things should work this way, but that's not going to happen, right? You plan things in one way and things happen in another way. So I was like, okay, I gave my GMAT on 13th of October 2019 and I rested for 1 week. Starting 20th of October,
Mhm.
I restarted my preparation.
All
But
right.
yeah, I had to make changes to the applications in the sense like, okay, I would be applying in later rounds now. So we need to have a target a bit higher score now.
All right. Okay. So, coming to the GMAT preparation phase, what were the main resources that you used that time, and what advice would you give to the future candidates?
Yeah. So first I started with official guide books and official guide tests. They're literally OGs. And of course you should have them for practice and everything. Those are really, really good resources. But if you get done with them pretty early in your stage, then you won't have official questions to practice later on. So you should only use them when you think, okay, you are in good stage to use them. okay, yeah, don't learn from OG practice questions, in the sense, learn from something else, then practice them in OG.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
now, before jumping onto OG, I wanted to test myself. Like, where do I stand?
Yeah.
And I researched on GMAT Club, and yeah, I 15 mocks.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing was analytics as well. When you go into EG's portal, you actually see, okay, you see graphs, how I've been performing,
Right.
which kind of questions you are doing, how much time you're spending, and
Mm-hmm.
all those analytics stuff. And you can review the question. So I started with EG mocks. I gave the first mock. So EG mocks were like, for example, I'm preparing for 2 weeks and then I'll give a mock so that I know where I'm standing right now, two,
All
three
right.
weeks, and then, and yes, I think that's the best part, because you have 15 mocks, so you have sufficient number of mocks to practice. And in between, you can add official guides. In fact, I couldn't even finish all the mocks in my first attempt. And you know what's the best part? I, in fact, asked PG team to extend my subscription,
Yeah.
because that's not something which usually happens. So what happened, as I told you, I started in March of something, March 2019, something, right? And then my first attempt, October 2019,
Right.
6 months. And this, you have the subscription for 6 months only.
Yeah.
And I just used 9 or 10 mocks, and I had still 4 or 5 left. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to use them. So I sent a mail to the EG team that, and they actually provided me an extension for a few weeks. Again, I used those 5 mocks to prepare, and the OG mocks.
Right. Okay. So, what would you like to say about your experience and learnings from managing the application timelines?
As I told you, for me, I initially thought I'll be applying in round one everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't have my GMAT ready for the round one, and things happen. So you need to be,
Mm.
so again, the good thing was I started a bit early. So I had some time, but still what happened, yeah, I had to reappear for GMAT. And then I started my application, and I applied like a bit late, I would say. I
Mm-hmm.
applied in March rounds, March rounds for the September, August intake. And then it was pretty intense again. I used to think like GMAT is the only intense factor in application. It's not the case. Applications are also so intense. You need to reach out to like recommendation, you need to prepare your CV, and applications also, you need to spend really good amount of time on your applications. So I was a bit late, but I would never encourage anyone to do that, because it's like being an Indian, it becomes a bit tough as well, because the competition is so high for Indians,
That's
so high.
right.
So I would say just try as early as you can.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you should be very confident with your application. Then only you should apply.
All right. Okay. So, could you please describe your interview experience with the school?
Oh, I applied to two, HEC and LBS.
Right.
Unfortunately, I got both of them. Yeah, so HEC one was a technical interview, and in the sense like, because I was applying for finance courses,
Right.
so masters in MSc International Finance in HEC, and that was the technical I had with professors. Yeah, they asked me stuff about my resume, but it was good. But for LBS, it was purely behavioral interview, in the sense like they didn't ask me technical questions. They wanted to know more about me as a person, and what I have done till now, what are my interests. The best part with LBS is its diversity.
Right.
The course I just now pursued, we were around 45 nationalities,
Oh,
and
interesting.
we can't get that in US as well. So I think I just love that factor about LBS. In fact, in my study group,
Mm-hmm.
we were 6 people, 6 from different nations:
Oh, amazing.
France, Italy, and Taiwan, Greece, India, China. So yes, that's why LBS interview was purely focused on, they want to know you better if you are a good fit for the LBS. So yeah, that was a behavioral kind of an interview just to know you better.
Interesting. So, could you tell us more about your MFA experience at LBS?
In one word, I would say wonderful.
That's great.
So I think because of COVID, I couldn't experience the best things happened. There were times when we were not allowed to go in person, but LBS did its best to ensure that we can attend in-person classes. So there were times when we were like around 50% of the students were allowed to attend classes, then alternate days. So yeah, they were trying their best. So I attended in-person classes. It opens up your mind. Like, this was my first international experience.
Okay.
And when you experience this kind of diversity at LBS, inclusion we talk about, it's like you can actually feel it at LBS. Everyone is different in their own sense, but at the end of the day, we are all same. We are very common and diverse. So that's good.
Yeah, that's nice. It's unity in diversity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. So, would you like to share about your job search experience during MFA and what tips would you give to the future candidates who are planning for MFA?
Yeah. So in India, what happens is we have placements kind of scenario, right? In which campus placements, more or less, there's nothing like outside India. You don't have campus placements. You need to apply by yourself. Campus will provide you, the university will provide you with resources, everything you need. So for example, MBS provided me with resources to prepare my CV, to prepare my cover letters, to prepare me for when you apply to these companies. They give you tests as well. They provide me resources for the test. They have like specific industry experts. LBS has industry experts. For example, if you want to go into investment banking, they have industry experts for investment banking. They'll prepare you for investment banking stuff. But still, at the end of the day, you will have to apply yourself. And it was COVID, so it was tough. It took me quite some time to find my first job here, like an internship, 6-8 months. I literally applied to 70-80 firms. Partially the reason was COVID because firms were not hiring full time that time. I'm talking about 2020 peak COVID. Yeah, I came to London during that time only. Finally, unfortunately, I got a job offer. Then I got another job offer. Then I got another. So like those are like back to back. But yeah, you need to be very resilient. I didn't give up because you will see that your cohort is getting placed. They are getting jobs. You are not. So you will feel tense or you will feel like, okay, what's happening? But at the end of the day, it's all about like, you need to be resilient because if you're spending this much money going out, yeah, just keep on applying, just be confident because and at the end of the day, I would say it was definitely worth it.
Okay, that's nice. And it's amazing how consistent you were in all your efforts and quite inspiring as well. So, can you please tell us about your post MFA journey? Like, how did the entire pre application phase and your MFA experience help in your growth post MFA?
Yeah. So I'm just learning. I'm also in learning phase only. But I would say it helped me to understand the people around me. Or it's just like you don't only need technical skills to succeed. Okay. You literally need human skills or interpersonal skills as much as you need technical skills. And that's why I love LBS as well, because it was not just academics. It was like, it was your overall growth. In fact, I joined a debate and public speaking society as well. And I actually participated in like mock British parliamentary debates. That's like you learn how to present yourself. You learn how to speak in front of people. Yes, it's like, it's going to be forever learning. There's nothing like, okay, you have reached your all the potential and it's like, it's done. There will always be learning phase. But yes, I realized that, okay, it's not just technical stuff which matters. It's like, it's a combination of both. And unless you are really good at conveying what you think or how you think to people, they're not gonna make sense out of what you're saying. So you need to connect with people and need to convey what you want to say.
Absolutely, that's true. So, what would you suggest the GMAT aspirants? What mistakes should they avoid? And what are the things that you feel they should keep in mind while even doing their MFA applications?
Firstly, don't have a gap in between your GMAT preparation, which I did, which was wrong. Try to get done with it like in 2, 3, 4 months. Don't do it over a span of few months because then it will be like, you'll just be forgetting the stuff you learned. Or even if you don't forget, it's like it just controls your mind in a sense like you will feel exhausted at the end of 6 months. You won't be able to give your 100% because you have prepared so much. Like it's like an athlete practicing quite a bit before the race. And in the actual race, he or she is like, hey, we are down now. Just try to have 2, 3, 4 months and then just give GMAT. For the application, you start early. If possible, start early. Don't do it at the last stage. And don't think that once you're done with GMAT, don't think like me that, okay, once you're done with GMAT, application is just a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. You'll have to spend good amount of time on your application. In fact, much more efforts than GMAT and in a shorter span because for GMAT, you still have 2, 3 months. For application, you won't have 2, 3 months. You'll have to do it like multiple schools in this over the span of 2, 3 months. Yeah, those are the two things I would say.
All right. Okay. So, do you have any final message for all the viewers watching this video?
I would say it's fine if you score low in GMAT. It's fine if you don't get it at the first attempt. It's fine if you don't get your dream school because that's how you learn. So it's absolutely fine that you fail because you will not be able to appreciate whatever you gain, whatever you call success, unless you have seen the failure. So just be comfortable and be very fine with yourself even when you fail. Of course, try to work harder, but it's definitely fine to fail. In fact, it's much needed.
Yes. Okay, that's great. And congratulations on your journey. You've come a long way and
Thank you so much.
it's a very inspiring journey. And thank you for interviewing with us. I'm sure your suggestions are going to help a lot of other students who are aspiring to do something similar in life.
So thank you so much, Dikshit, and thank you so much, Experts Global, again for inviting me for this. It's like it feels really nice sharing my journey because if it can help anyone, best thing you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. So, yeah, thank you so much. And you have a nice day.
Yeah, you too. Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.